already. The
flexibility
young
is
people
there.
likes agility in consuming. They don't want to be tied down to something too long. They just want to have the flexibility to be able to have more options.
So they are reluctant to evolve together with technology. You see, they understand the existence of it. They understand it will definitely help them. They understand the importance of having it. But whether they're willing to embrace and embed it together and moving forward together with it is another.
So life insurance, general insurance, right? Medical coverage, health benefits, which nobody can predict whether you're going to be unhealthy or not. Not me lah, but my wife. I save like 30 over thousand. You know, 30 over thousand, I save that instead I have no insurance. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm still with Erim and Alan. We have had discussion in this podcast on a very conversational level, and off the camera, we actually spoke about certain things about the industry today in the current times in 2025 as we are moving into the second half of the year already. I think globally, the world is very volatile in terms of trade policies that are being kind of like enacted by certain countries, like the US. Okay, Trump just recently, I think yesterday or just this morning, announced that he's going to slap 25% tariff on Malaysian goods being imported into US. So how does that kind of make you feel, right? Well, I can share with you how it makes me feel, in the sense that the world is becoming more protectionist. Okay, it's like every country right now wants to take care of their own backyard, which I can understand why. But one of the reasons why is because we've been on a boom cycle for far too long. I think governments in general, central banks have been printing too much money to try and boost up their economy. But if you're in economics, you know that this cannot last. Debt has to be paid off. Belts have to be tightened. And I believe in a nutshell, that's where we are today from an economic perspective. And referring to what I mentioned earlier on, Bank Negara is expected to cut a 0.25 percentage point in the OPR rates. That's basically to help boost the economy moving into the second half of the year. Okay, they always do it at a very critical timing of the calendar year. So you will expect the US Federal Reserve to also cut the rates, but this is my prediction: they'll cut it in September. Okay, a couple of months before Christmas, which is a very big seasonal time for them, where they have the Black Friday sale and all these other sales. Okay, so it is just economic sense. Okay, and if you look at data perspective, it always happened during those times. Okay, that's where data is very important to us, and that's why technology is helping us. AI is helping us to manage all these data points to give us insights where normally we don't pay attention to. And I think I'd like to relate that back to P10 and what they have done, okay, for the insurance industry is that they rely on data. Their platform is able to churn out various scenarios for individuals in maybe different stage of their life, different demographic, different career, different risk profile, different risk appetite. And I think that's what is different from the industry, the value that they're providing to the industry, and how in a way that's disrupting the expectations from the consumer perspective. Why did I say that? Because in my personal conversation with both Erim and Alan away from the camera, I've discovered that what they are trying to do is what most startups currently today, those successful and not successful, have always started their journey. It is to disrupt the market with a new idea, with a new way of doing things, by making things better. Okay? Now, coming from a good place, we also know that the market works in a very strange manner, because the market is always controlled by a certain key players, and adoption is required. Okay? So having that personal conversation with them, the adoption of their methodology in terms of people being more aware of the educational value of P10's platform, the certification value of P10's platform, how it's saving them time, how it's providing more better efficiency for the practitioners to gain knowledge, and for the consumers to understand their own risk profile from the analytics that can be achieved from the platform. Okay, so I think these are the things that I did not get the value of when I first signed up my first insurance policy, I think 32 years ago. Okay, 32 years ago. So that's 3 decades ago. I didn't get that. So I think with this advent rise of technology and the best use of technology to serve a specific purpose, to do good for the consumers, to do good for society, I think that's something very good that P10 is doing. And I really commend both Alan and Erim for really struggling to go through the compliance, the regulatory hurdles to get all the certification to be able to provide this service to the practitioners to become better at what they do, and to the consumers to know what their risk profiles are and the premium that they're paying is exactly what they need to pay. Not like in the old days, I paid too much. Okay, so this is what P10 is trying to do, and I would like Erim to kind of like maybe give a little bit more insights to how are you guys doing today after your initial founding 9 years ago. Bring us fast forward to 2025 to today, which is July, 9th of July. Where do you see yourself, like your product? Is it right now being more accepted? You're seeing the product creating good results for your students and also your practitioner, which is basically representing you, provide that value. Does that value translate to the consumer and they are happy about it with the feedback that you're getting? Can you just give us a little bit of insight of that?
Right, Mike. I would say that the practitioners, today, I mean, talking about the certifications, the PITA program, we have raised the acceptance level, within the insurance industry landscape. But talking about the digital financial tool, we are still trying, doing our very best effort, our whole team, to raise the acceptance from the practitioners, the communities. That's why, just going a little rewind, all right? The marketings that we are doing, right, is just like what Mike mentioned earlier. It is a hybrid. We need to educate the bottom, and also we need to create and raise a lot of awareness to the C-level, for them to accept the
new way or the new platform to engage.
A new digital platform, for them to embrace, so that they can actually, our platform basically is like a game changer. I don't say it like we are disruptive to the industry. Many people, when they heard about this word disruptive, they were like kechut a bit lah. Disrupting my business, you see. So we are trying to make the process more seamlessly, enhance the process to increase the speed as what the customer wants. So this is what the customer needs. They want something which is more solid and more confirmed and secure for them when they come to the decisions making. Yep,
I agree to that, but I would also like to touch on the fact that the definition of disruption, from my perspective, is actually people take it the wrong way because they always think disruption is destruction. I kind of agree to that terminology, because destruction of the old way of doing things. So when we say disruption, we are referring to a new way of doing things that can add more value and cost less, or can save you more, which is basically a good thing. It's a very positive thing, right? Every technological innovation or advancement that we have had in the past has all been good. Our lives have been enriched. Better goods and services are being able to be provided to us. Okay, just like the disruption in retail, e-commerce, for example, right? In the old days, okay, we go to shopping mall, we go to Kedai Runcit, we buy things, we have to drive, we have to pay toll, we have to go and reach there, find a parking, then go down and shop and pay all these other expenses to be able to go into a retail shop to see the things that we want to see and maybe purchase it, buy it, pay whatever tax, and then bring it home, drive back home, pay the toll again, and come back home. Right now, I can forego all of that by just opening up my mobile. I go and say, hey, I go to Lazada, I want to buy maybe my, let's say, I want to buy some batteries, for example, or I'll buy a massager, okay? Something that I want, but may not need immediately. I can wait for it for 3 days to arrive. But I save a lot of money. I save a lot of time. And that time that I save, I could be doing something else. Like, for example, go and learn an online course, opening up my laptop and learn something new, right? Rather than, walking aimlessly looking for something that I may not need. So disruption from that perspective is always good. I get better value for my money and I get to save more time. And then I think that's the terminology that we need to encourage our audience and our community to embrace. Okay? Because being in the technology industry for so long, this is the conversation normally I have with C-level people as well. And I can relate to their apprehensiveness in terms of adopting new technology because they may not be able to see the entire picture. Because for the C-level, they only want to know what your solution can do for them from a top-line perspective and bottom-line perspective. But the landscape has changed so much that right now, the new breed of C-level people are looking at what your solution can enhance in their customer journey and customer experience. Or user journey and user experience if it's their employees using the software. So there's two sides to the coin here. One is user, one is customer. But they are both actually the same. Because a lot of people don't get it is that technology can do a lot of things for you, but the champions have to come from within the organization. Okay? For those disruptors or innovators, they can tell you that the software can work wonders for you, but if you don't support it, you will never realize the true potential of it.
Correct.
And I'm speaking from experience because, I sell banking software. And I tend to be very, very authentic when I'm talking about the value proposition of what the software can do for you. But the caveat is that you, as the leadership, the board, has to support it, and you must have champions internally because anything new will always face resistance. Because it's human nature to resist change. That's why some people get ahead, some people stay the same, some people fall back, right? So I would like to use the terminology of the three situation. Three persons sitting on the sidewalk, okay, they see something happen or a car pass by. One say, what is happening? One is, when that happened? And another person is like totally confused. Why it happened? There's always three views. So which one do you choose to be, right? So in technology, we are the ones that are innovating and always thinking of new ways to do things better, to serve people better, to provide more value in the goods and services that we are providing. So from that standpoint, is that the kind of feeling that you get when you're approaching, big organization that probably it's time for them to kind of improve their service level, and that you face that? I mean that's a very sensitive question to ask you. But coming from
from bottom of my heart, I would say that I think the acceptance level from higher level management, they will say that this is good for their peoples.
Yes.
Yeah, but if for them to adopt it, embed it, and embrace it, that's another different story.
Yes. So
So to them, the way personally I find it, the way that they define the terminology of disruptions is the other way around, like how I mentioned earlier. Not the versions that you mentioned, but the version that you mentioned, we understand the true meaning behind the engineering, you see. But them is different. Yeah, it's we are disrupting what they are currently doing and they used to. It's just like I'm in a comfort zone already.
Yes.
Right now, your
Absolutely.
system, your platform come in. No matter how good it is, it has to, change the way they work. Yeah. So this transition to them is not a small transition like I'm leaping from this to here, here to there, but it is like involve the whole ecosystem within the organizations. It's like every single level, they have to really committed to goals for these transitions and support these changes, you see. So it's not just like
Yes, I agree with you.
I can make magic. If I can, I will do it.
So
Alan also will do it.
Which is this is a very quite common issues where startups founders have always consistently faced up to today. Okay, because I think it's culture. Because when we are trying to disrupt, let's say our product is suitable for a large organization, because the organizational structure in the sense that it's very, I would say, rigid in that sense, because it's top-down approach, right? But things are already changing. But one thing good about technology is that if it's good and the consumers can see the value in that, it will happen. But the thing is that you must be patient for change to happen, because one thing good about industry that's competitive, for example, banking and insurance, there's no one single player. So my expectation is always the best industry player that has the vision, that has a digital transformation roadmap already within the organization laid out over the next 5 years, that understands technology and the benefit that it does for the consumer journey, customer journey and customer experience, will be the one that's going to succeed, because they're willing to spend first and reap the rewards later. A lot of legacy companies struggle with this digital transformation CapEx, so to speak, capital expenditure, is because they want immediate results without factoring that consumer behavior has changed. How do I provide those platform and digital channels to ensure that I can still capture that market share, not lose market share, and grow my market share because I'm relevant. I'm providing something relevant that they can consume and want to consume via these digital channels. So this is the insight that I can share with our audience and also share with both Erim and Alan, because I have a lot of conversation with a lot of senior people, and the one that motivates me the most is the one that basically has this right, because they understand that the organizational culture is equally important to move along with the technological advancement that is happening worldwide right now.
Correct.
Okay, everybody can tell you about ChatGPT and this and that, what I'm doing with it, but how are they implementing it in your organization to get the results? Have you spoken to anybody that can give you a very concrete answer? How are they implementing AI into their business model? Has anybody talked to you about that? No, you see? And when I bring this up to people, they are like giving me a question mark look. So we all can talk about some things, but to disrupt something is very difficult. That's why I have the utmost high respect for what Alan and Erim is doing. And I think their product is great because I've seen it firsthand. I think it's going to do wonders in the market. But however, I am also a very realistic individual. The market will always take time to adopt new technologies.
True.
So a classic example would be an EV car today.
Yes.
Right? There are people who are adopting EV straight away, installing solar in their house because they can know how to calculate how much they can save every year. As opposed to an ICE car, even though Malaysian fuel is subsidized, but now the subsidy is going to be taken away. So you can see adoption suddenly for EV is going up, double-digit growth every month, right? Why is that? So because of economic factors. Right? So adoption always works well when the economic motivation is there. So what I'm trying to say is that, okay, fine, your product will do very well. I'm very confident, I can tell you that. Why? Because maybe in the insurance industry, there's, I don't know, top players, maybe there's like 7 or 8. How many top players are there? Let's dive a little bit deeper so that our audience can. Is there 7 top players?
I think
in
they
your ranking?
are around 16 to 17.
16 to 17.
Yeah, companies currently in the industry.
Yeah.
For the insurance sector.
Okay, so it's very, very competitive considering the fact that Malaysia has only 33 million population?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be competitive. So I am very confident because of this competitive nature in the industry itself. I think the top 3 or the top 5 will be able to come to their senses and say, look, they will come up with the right strategy to adopt the best technology for them to be able to serve their customers better. Not necessarily their top line and bottom line first, but they have the vision to say that I understand that consumer behavior is changing. They want digitized content, they want easier access, they want more structured way of learning that is more accessible to everybody, that also incorporates financial education and financial inclusion as part of the agenda. And I think I need to highlight this because, to be honest, I seldom that I meet people that has this kind of values when they're producing something or they're creating something. And there's something very commendable. Okay, and I think that's one of the reasons why our academies set up initially when you want to do the FinTech Frontier is to educate people the difference in the motivation of certain things. Okay, and I think in today's world, if you do not provide value in any products or goods and services that you are trying to market, I don't think you will succeed because your objective is not coming from the right place.
True.
And I've seen many successful business owners that I've been fortunate to be friends with. They always come from the right place to do something good, okay, then make money from it if it's really helping people, okay. So I think that's kind of like, I kind of laid the picture of what P10 is all about from a human perspective, from the founders, the vision that they have, and the mission that they are on.
P10 is an insurtech and fintech solution provider. We design and develop financial planning and wealth management solution for the banking, financial services, and insurance industry. We want to make practitioners easy on their work and also for consumer to understand their financial solution effectively.
Alan, I want you to kind of like, we have touched a lot today in this particular segment and episodes, and I would like, as a industry practitioner, being already in July of 2025, and I've seen you on this journey for the last couple of years, and I'm seeing a lot of transformation in the company itself in P10. I've seen you, being more visible in the marketplace. A lot of people are giving you the recognition that I believe you truly deserve. After struggling initially at your startup where nobody wants to even listen to you, nobody even want to see any of your demo, even though you had such a great product. I know because you showed it to me, right, at the onset. And I want you to share that, do you think the struggle that you've been through, is it worth it? And where do you see yourself going by the end of this year? And also maybe give us a little bit of your vision for the next couple of years moving forward.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Looks like he knows us very, very well. Give him a pat. So honestly, I think the journey is very painful, my friend. But the pains along the way also build your strength in the process of getting better. Until today, I still feel very aspirated and motivated together with my siblings, Erim, because we always believe in building and giving a better product solutions to our industry and also our community. That's the strength that we keep on believing that is going to keep us moving forward. So moving forward, we as a company, we really want to build something very simplified, very user-friendly, I kind of like, just now you mentioned about a good technology is about not only to save time and the money, but also to increase the activity and productivity of the practitioners.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
So if this is other than saving time and money, increasing activity and productivity, I believe more and more collaborators, partners, and also leaders in the industry are recognizing and accepting our solutions. And I believe together we can charge ahead with a better, simplified, user-friendly product. As a company, we are looking forward to build something very agile, flexible, exciting, engaging, that kind of like you're talking to P10, the P10 can talk to you. So we are in the process of integrating an AI element into P10. So maybe in the very near future, when you want to talk to P10, hi, what can I do for you today? It can communicate, it can generate, it can simulate and process the data, process the result, and also process the outputs for you as a practitioners to communicate with the community very, very effectively in a very different way.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is what we plan to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
thank
great.
you, Mike.
I think that's in line with the expectation of the consumer as well, where they
Yeah.
want things very accessible. At the same time, they want, today, I think the younger consumer market, they're kind of very impatient, right? So, they want things good, fast, accessible, but it has also a cons in that. So I think one thing that I believe that P10 is doing is that education always comes first to your awareness.
Yeah.
So you guys went through a lot of, I think, challenges in terms of getting the awareness out there, the visibility that what you guys are doing is creating the awareness in terms of financial education. In order for your general practitioner to become good at what they are doing to service the customer, they need to have that knowledge-based priority. That means they need to know that they need to develop themselves first before they can be effective in actually doing the work that they are supposed to be doing and want to do. I think that's where the key role that you play as the CMO, but I also know that you're a very, very effective trainer and very experienced trainer. So can you just give us a little bit of insight that what are the methodologies that you maybe are innovating in order for them to be able to learn faster, for you to be able to engage your learners better, and for them to be able to translate that into something effective in terms of for them to promote the goods and services that they're actually looking to promote?
Understanding the customer behaviors, that's the key for us to run the business, every business. So our customer, what we see is they prefer storytelling than reading the materials, filled up with alphabets, thousands, millions of alphabets. So basically during the training, when we are conducting our training session, basically we use storytelling to explain to our audience so that they can understand the concepts, the fundamentals, why this is explained in such a manner. For them to absorb and digest very, very quickly rather than using the industry jargon word, so that, they totally are off and we can't even create the interest in them for them to learn forward, you see. So these are the areas that we are, as a team, we are trying to enhance it, every time when we go for the training sessions, the trainers that we are guiding as well, we need to tell them that, no more long-winded explanations, but by showing in terms of visualizations, but storytelling is always the best
The education part to me, I think is very important because from my travels and from meeting people, when I meet people that are not so fortunate, that have not been educated to a very certain degree level to understand the benefits of a insurance policy, they look at it as a taboo. Right? So, however, those people are the ones that need to be insured the most because if there's any medical emergency or if there's any death in the family, normally in those community, they all normally chip in one, someone needs to go for funeral, but they really can't afford. Then they
Understand.
chip in for the medical, even before the death, they chip in for the medical, the hospitalization, because those kind of services are very costly to them because number one, they're not insured. Number two, it's just the way things work in the healthcare industry that they have to pay. It's not, no healthcare is free. Unless you're working, you pay taxes, then you have access to the public hospitals.
Okay.
Correct? So that's how the world works, right? But from my travels, I realized that these are the most, I would say, people that will benefit most from insurance because they are the most at risk. Because one medical emergency, one medical bill can sink the whole family. I've seen that happen, and they end up borrowing money from unauthorized or sources, and which get them into debt, and then it spirals beyond something that is really cannot control already. So those are the risks that I think this community needs to understand. That when we as a practitioner go and tell them of financial inclusion, why we mean financial education is important for you, we're just trying to educate you and share with you that you need to protect for this risk. It may not happen today, but definitely it will happen to one day. So are you gonna take the gamble? Basically, to me, is that anyone without an insurance policy is a gambler, Because number one, the private hospital is going to be very expensive already. You know that for a fact. You can find out the cost for 1 day, 2 day bedding, for operation, for this and that. You can find out from the internet. Grok can tell you also, or ChatGPT can tell you, right? So use AI to educate yourself now to tell you the cost of not being insured. Or cost of not being adequately insured, to put it precisely for the Malaysian consumer and audience.
I would like to speak on behalf of the consumers,
Yeah.
from the consumer perspective. All right, I'm sure the consumers they want a product. Yeah, this is not speaking on behalf of the company P10, but purely on the consumer, hoping that the
Like me, I'm a consumer.
hoping that the insurance company they can actually innovate. A product or plans that basically, within their affordabilities. All right. What the consumer actually wants is in today's landscape, as you can see, the health protections planning, the costing hikes non-stop. The premium repricing, so on and so forth, and not many of them can actually afford to pay for the policy premiums. Of course, if those insurers who are really willing to take the challenges and they're willing to create and innovate a product like an on-demand product. On-demand product is like, for example, if today you are traveling to overseas during these particular durations, so I'm purchasing it for that particular durations with that premium, and it actually saves a lot of cost, you see. So they can actually study from that, just delve a bit deeper and see that whether they can do it and create and innovate something which is similar like the on-demand, platform is offerings to the public. Just with a few clicks. Because if today I'm purchasing a travel insurance or car insurance, if anything were to happen or fire insurance, you still have to pay me whatever that I'm asking your company to insure me, and the insurer, they're willing to absorb those risks and all risks, you see, that they promise to the consumer. So same goes to the health protection, just that they need to work a bit harder to offer plans. Like for the individuals today, I'm going to select a plan, like I log into a platform or an apps, I want to select, I think this year I only want to insure myself 500,000. This is which within my my affordability limits. So how much is the premium? So basically, when it comes to premiums calculation, of course, the insurer, the actuarial side, they need to put in a lot of factors which makes the premiums, churn out that these are the premium that you need to pay. But can we just tweak a bit? If general insurance, they can insure such a big amount without assessing the health situations, can health protection also do the same?
Yes.
I actually can, this can
Yes.
happen. If you're willing to evolve, I think you guys is going to be the leader in this whole industry.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
I believe that it's not a matter of can or cannot, it's a matter of when. So going back to what I believe in, 16 players in this small country, the person that thinks of this and innovate for the product to go and reach out to the masses, to those that really need the insurance, those that have not been insured, underinsured, I think they will do very well. And I believe that what you're touched on is something very relevant because I know many other countries with insurance companies are already doing what you mentioned. So basically on demand is basically a healthcare that's like basically Netflix, right? So I can subscribe today, but I can just subscribe maybe next month. I know I'm traveling a lot, I will have time to watch, I just end my subscription. So I just pay for that month. Okay, so I think this is where consumer behavior is already trending towards for a long time already. The young people likes agility in consuming. They don't want to be tied down to something too long. They just want to have the flexibility to be able to have more options.
Correct.
And other countries are doing this already. I've seen it. I've actually mentioned it before to Ellen also in our first 2 episodes. That's why where micro insurance, nano insurance comes in, where they can buy for 1 week, buy for 1 month, buy for 6 months or quarterly. I think that is very relevant. And I think this is something that technology can help bridge the divide and give access without actually, for those insured customers that wants to be insured on a shorter term basis, they can access digitally to get this
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah, and very fast.
Because I don't see why Malaysia cannot do it because we have a national ID. We have very good, strong CTOS, CCRIS, whatever database. So it should be easy to understand from data analytics, from technology that we can get the sufficient information about this individual, enough for them to be able, for the platform to come up with a solution and say, this is the policy that's suitable for you. I mean, Malaysia is fortunate in that sense, but we are not actually optimizing it, suppose, right?
In saying and doing it is 2 different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the acceptance, AI, the wording is not like a buzzword anymore, but seems like everyone can accept AI, but the in real world actually not really. When people talk about AI, they understand that if I store all my information over there, behind the scene, the AI will study my behavior, my spending behavior, my traveling frequency.
I get what you mean.
So
I get that a lot too.
They have a lot of fear in them. Just worried that all their data is being stolen.
Yes.
Yeah. So they are reluctant to evolve together with technology. You see, they understand the existence of it. They understand it will definitely help them. They understand the importance of having it. But whether they're willing to embrace and embed it together and moving forward together with it is another storytelling.
Yeah, that's the perception people get, but I find this very funny because I'm a very realistic individual. So someone comes to me and asks me, I'm worried because I don't want to adopt this because I'm scared my information gets stolen. I say, first of all, do you post pictures on Instagram and Facebook? They'll say, yes, I post that. You're already revealing your information. So your other information is not important. The most important thing that you go and share with people is your face, where you go and eat, where you go and shop, your location. You're telling people where you are.
Sure.
If they want to kidnap you, they kidnap you already. So the perception is all wrong. The mindset is all wrong, right? Then I ask them, hey, where do you work? You work in Pentagon, you work for CIA, you work for FBI. Your information is not important, right? I mean, you're only afraid that people take your information is that it will kind of compromise you. And if you're not doing anything wrong, whatever information you get about you is not going to compromise you. So the only reason why you're afraid to share information to a certain degree is that you have something to hide. So that's that reply to them. Honestly, realistically, as an individual, that I know how to protect my own data. I know how to post when I'm posting on social media. I never post pictures unless it is something of a family gathering. I post for my family to see, and all my social media is locked. I don't simply open it to public and then accept friends' requests left, right, and center just because I want to be popular. I'm too old for that already. I don't care. Right? But the youngsters do that because they want to be popular and stuff like that. So they have to be very careful with that. But that's a separate realm altogether that they have to manage. And that's a risk management also.
Yes.
That's a risk management that they have to understand. So, but the crux of it is that what we're trying to address here is that the major risk that involves that has financial impact to you.
True.
So life insurance, general insurance, right? Medical coverage, health benefits, which nobody can predict whether you're going to be unhealthy or not, right? Sometimes it's genetics. Yeah, you could be living a very clean, healthy lifestyle, but all of a sudden you get struck with cancer. Cancer in the throat for a person that don't smoke. Why? Secondary smoke, whatever lah, right? Then there's also the knowledge about the fact that, okay, I work so hard for my money, but yet I'm not willing to spend on insurance to protect myself, to protect my wealth. They can work 16 hours a day to earn money because they want a very better lifestyle, but they never think about the fact that insurance will help them protect that.
True.
So you see, the mindset thing is very funny, you know. So that's where for financial inclusion to happen, financial education has to be at the forefront. And for people to learn, sometimes the way we teach them has to be different. And I think that's where you are filling up the gap there. You're bridging the gap there. Okay, and that's why this particular podcast is so interesting to me, and that's why I've come to do a second, third, and fourth. Is because I feel that this is very, very important for us to tell people what you guys think from practitioner, from your principle of why you are doing this, because of your experience meeting so many people. You have seen the benefit of what a good insurance coverage can do for a person and change people's life. Correct or not? Like for me personally, I shared my story on the first 2 episodes, right? That I saved a lot. My first 2 incidents, not me lah, but my wife, I saved like 30 over thousand. You know, 30 over thousand, I saved that. Instead, I have no insurance. Guess what? I lost out on my car deposit. 30,000 you put in car deposit leh.
True.
Or rather than giving it to the hospital and I'm not protected.
True.
So I lost that 30,000. Imagine how many hours have to work to make that 30,000?
True.
Oh, imagine you're a factory worker, how many hours you have to work, how many days you have to work to make that 30,000. So people don't think of time relatively to value. But time is the most valuable commodity in this world because early on, at the beginning of this podcast, I mentioned, the day that we are born, we know that we're going to die. So the most important thing is time.
True.
How you spend it, what you do with it, and how you make money from it. Okay? So with that said, I think that was a very good conversation that we had for this podcast. But before we end, would you guys like to add anything else that maybe you would like to share with your audience from your personal experience that they might be able to help them in a way to navigate the complexity and the volatility of the global situation right now?
Maybe I start first. I would say that no matter we are at which level, which hierarchy in an organizations. We still need to keep learning.
Yes,
all right, keep
absolutely.
Evolve, and keep inspiring. And we really have to adapt to the technology advancement in order to make us difference. Instead of staying stagnant, but we just have to evolve together with the technology. This is my say.
Absolutely. Good. Alan, anything to add?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Erin. I think I would say that the technology adoption always must blend with psychological adoption together. Then if we can have a product that is truly personalized and humanized for the consumers, I think it is time to look into this golden window to explore more with the solution we have. Maybe we can save time, save money, increase activity and productivity for the industry, for the leaders, and also for the players together. Thank you.
Yep, good.